In a land where everyone had hair as black as the midnight sky, a girl named Bishra was born, with a mane of shimmering silver. But this wasn't seen as a gift. It was seen as a curse. Her birthday was the same day her father died, and her mother and sisters believed her unusual hair was a sign of misfortune. She grew up an outcast, her only home a drafty shed with the farm animals. Her days were a blur of endless work, from dawn until dusk, all for a few scraps of food. Her mother, a heart hardened by grief, showed Bishra no love. "The day you were born is cursed," she'd often hiss, blaming the girl for every hardship the family faced. One day her mother's cruel words cut too deep. Bishra fled, tears streaming down her face, finding solace only among the cows in the fields. As she drifted off to sleep, a vision came to her. A beautiful woman, her own hair a cascade of liquid silver, cradled Bishra's head. She sang a gentle lullaby, her voice like chimes. "Oh, my beauty Bishra," she whispered, "with moonlight cascading from your head, with the gift of a silver thread, art and the artist." The woman plucked a single gleaming hair from her own head, and as if by magic embroidered a perfect shining rose onto a white cloth. When Bishra awoke, the sun warming her face, she found herself clutching that very handkerchief, the silver flower glittering in the light. Inspired, she returned to her shed. She took a deep breath and carefully plucked a strand of her own silver hair, hesitantly at first. Then, with growing confidence, she began to embroider her own unique flowers blooming on scraps of cloth. Soon she had a small collection. Hoping for just a few coins, she took her creations to the village fair. A merchant's eyes widened in amazement. "Where did you find this exquisite silver thread?" he exclaimed. "This is priceless." He pressed a heavy pouch of coins into her hand, more money than she had ever seen. Bishra's heart soared. She rushed home clutching the money, dreaming that this gift would finally melt her mother's cold heart. "Mother, look!" she said, her voice trembling with hope as she offered the pouch. But her mother's face twisted, not with joy, but with suspicion and greed. "Thief!" she shrieked, accusing Bishra of stealing. As her mother raised a hand to strike her, Bishra screamed her secret. "No, I earned it, with my hair. I'll show you." In the dim light of the shed, Bishra's mother watched, as her eyes glistened as Bishra plucked a silver strand and wove it into a shimmering petal. Greed had found a new terrible fuel. The next morning her mother snatched the handkerchiefs and sold them for an even larger sum. She came back not with praise, but with command, "Make more." Bishra's life became a living nightmare. She was forbidden to sleep, forced to embroider day and night. The small home slowly transformed into a mansion, built on the pain of her silver threads. But the pace was never fast enough for her insatiable mother. One day, in a fit of impatience, she took a pair of shears and cut a thick lock of Bishra's hair. She rushed to the merchant, presenting the clump of silver. The merchant looked from the hair to the woman, his face hardening. "Do you take me for a fool?" she scoffed. "This just an old woman's white hair. You're trying to cheat me. Get out!" Humiliated and furious, her mother stormed home. Her rage fell upon Bishra. The demands became relentless. Day and night Bishra plucked her hair, strand by painfully strand. Her fingers grew bruised and swollen, her scalp raw. The mansion grew larger, but she remained a prisoner in a tiny, empty room, her world shrinking to the point of a needle. She grew weaker, bolder. Then came the day she plucked the very last silver hair from her head. She stitched one final beautiful flower. When her mother burst in and saw that bold, exhausted girl, she flew into a rage. With no more hair, Bishra was useless to her. She was thrown back into the shed, back to the cold floor and the company of cows, while her mother and sisters revelled in the wealth she had created. Her hair, damaged by the constant trauma, refused to grow back. Bishra was broken, her spirit as barren as her scalp. One afternoon, as she lay in the fields, lost in her despair, a silver-haired woman appeared in her dreams once more. She gently cradled Bishra's bald head in her lap. "I am sorry, my dear child," the woman whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. "The gift became a curse, but I will bestow it once upon you. This time be wise." She leaned down and kissed Bishra's forehead. When Bishra awoke, she felt a strange weight. She reached up and her fingers sank into the most magnificent, thick silver hair she had ever had. It flowed over her shoulders like a waterfall in moonlight. Without a second's hesitation she covered her head with a cloth, ran from that house, and never looked back. She made her way to the kingdom's main city. She sold a few of her remaining embroideries, just enough to buy a small, quiet house of her own. She never told another soul the secret of her silver thread. Her skill and the unique beauty of her art made her wealthy, but this time the wealth served a different purpose. She dedicated her life to helping children in need, building an orphanage for those who, like her, had no one. She grew old in that house, a respected and beloved woman, and until the day she passed, she wore her beautiful silver hair with pride, a crown she had truly earned. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales. We will see you next time.